everyone, this is Archangeli. One of the few times you'll see me in front of the camera, but two very special things came in the mail today, and I wanted to share my box opening with you guys. So, let's start with this one first, shall we? You probably noticed there's a yellow sticker and yellow tape. Customs dinged us for both of these packages, and I think the total bill was just over $300. Ouch! Anyway, these things happen. We decided to ship them both separately, hoping that maybe one of them would slip through. Didn't work out that way, but these things happen. I've already removed all of the identifying labels and paperwork, so I'm sorry you can't Google stalk me. But you'll get to see what how Volks packages their items. So what these are the Sheryl Nome and Archangeli pre-order dolls that were up for pre-order last year between, I think, November up till mid-January. Here you go, Charlie, there's some paper. And here, let me turn this around, lift it up so you can see what's inside. So this is Sheryl's box. This is her concert dress. And this is the, I think they called it the casual date outfit. And then inside, buried at the bottom, is the doll itself. Volks wedges everything perfectly in with lots of bubble wrap, so you don't need to worry about things getting damaged in transit. I've almost never had anything come damaged from Volks. Missing pieces or mixed up pieces, yes, but not damaged. Hi, Spooky. You're helping? That's my kitten. She thinks she's being helpful. So, this is Sheryl's box. Let's take the plastic off so you can have a look at the artwork. Oh, the kitten found paper. So it's got this beautiful photo of the doll. It says Dollfie Dream Macross. I'm sorry, Dollfie Dream Sheryl Nome. It says Macross Frontier in the back. So some of the Dollfie Dream character dolls come in the yellow cardboard box that you've seen in other videos and other photos. With the pre-order dolls and some of their special limited editions is when they do these big slider boxes. It's rather arbitrary because when they re-released Sisara, they also used the big slider box. Now this is new. Rather than the little white ribbon to tie the doll in, they've used, I guess I'll bring it up closer so you can kind of see. It's like a little bra hook. Can you see that? So instead of the little white ribbons that they used to just tie it all in, so they now they've put these little hooks in. That's new. I like it. So they bubble wrap the doll, and then she also comes in plastic to keep everything nice. Nice. Let's have a look at her. Oh, she's so pretty. Okay. Let me bring her up close. So here's a nice close-up of her face. And she has this special, I think they call it the flat bust, which means she doesn't have nipples. It's a little bit different than Alisa, who I've got hanging around down here, because Alisa's got the one-piece torso, whereas Sheryl, she still has the seam in the middle of the body. All right, let's have a look at the rest of her goodies. So here, I think you can see a little bit better the hooks that I was talking about that they used to attach the doll to the cardboard underneath. I don't know, little things like this amuse me. So underneath, inside the box, everything is packed like this. So there's some Dollfie Dream paperwork, Sheryl's microphone, an instruction pamphlet, and also the decals that go on her shoulder. There's 2 sets of each color depending on which outfit you'd be dressing her in. I'm just going to set this aside for now. There's the default outfit for this particular model. These shoes, shoes with a crazy lightning bolt heel, and 2 wigs. So I'm going to dress Sheryl up, and I'll be back with you in a little bit, okay? So I lied. I'm not dressing her quite yet. I wanted to show you how I install the Cool Cat bits. This is exactly what I do every time I get a new doll. Since she's naked right now, it's probably the easiest time to install these rather than undressing her after I put all the clothes on. So what these are aluminum reinforcement pieces that are made by Cool Cat, and they're about $9 for the set. And what they do is they reinforce the shoulder piece on the internal torso frame and the hip socket so that it'll prevent cracking. Volks has been tweaking with the design of the torso frame, so cracking hasn't been much of an issue yet. But I'd rather just be careful, so I put these in every set of my dolls. So I'll just show you how I do this. So I'm going to remove the head and Sheryl's arms. Also, did you notice she comes with the grabbing hands instead of the usual flat, I guess the O1 hands? It's nice of Volks to do that because sometimes they would release dolls that had accessories, but they came with the default hands. You couldn't hold them unless you had spare hands. So it's nice if this is your first doll, right off the bat she can hold her microphone. So I'm lifting the bust off. You see how easy that was? It just slides right up. And if you look at the instructions for the Cool Cat pieces, there's one side that's flat, like it has a right angle, and the other side is beveled to a point. So what you do is you line up, let me look at this, line up the right angle side to the front part of here, of the torso frame. And whoops. So you can see what I'm doing here. All right, so I've put one on here. I'm going to take the torso frame off to do the second. So again, you're lining up the 90-degree angle to the front. And once you've taken this off, if you don't remember which side is the front or the back, just remember that the neck joint always points to the back. You would tilt your head back, right? It's just a matter of finding the sweet spot, and then this will just slide on quite nicely. So that's the torso frame with the reinforcements on. You can pop the torso piece back on and put the bust back on. So when you're putting the bust piece back on, it can be helpful just to pinch the shoulders back a little bit like that, just so that it'll slide into the bottom of the bust piece a little more easily. And there we go. And then you just straighten out the shoulders again so that you can see the sockets and the shoulder bones. So let's do the hip joints. These don't have a right or wrong way. They just slide onto the hip socket. So I do one leg at a time because if you take both legs off at the same time, it's a pain to get them back on. So you're actually working with the leg, not the torso frame. And this just caps on over the leg. So I'm using the floor just to brace it, and you push it all the way in. See that? And check that it's sitting nice and flush. Good. And then you can put it back into the body. So this is kind of tricky. If you push the leg up, so from the foot up, it forces the armature higher into the leg socket. All right, so I've got the leg back on, and you want to make sure that when you bend it and, twist it, that it's really not going anywhere. So let's do the left leg now. So just twist and pull that out nicely. And a little trick that I learned from Plastic Fantastic is if the hip socket is not where you want it to be, you can use the wrist piece or pencil and kind of pivot that up and down a little bit to get it in a position so that you can access it nicely. And so this is that hip piece. I'll try to do it facing the camera. That's my cat. It's not in all the way yet. Sometimes you need to pop it off and reposition, just because you want to get it completely flush. And the last time I did this, it actually clicked into place. That looks good. Okay. So it didn't click this time, but that's all right. Oh, I just wanted to mention something. I'm not actually wearing nail polish or nail lacquer. This is UV gel. So it's basically plastic on my nails. If you're going to be doing something like this where you're going to be handling the vinyl a lot, you should do it with clean nails, because if you get any nail polish onto the vinyl, it's quite a pain in the butt to remove. So remember I said use the wrist joint earlier just to get that up at a good angle so that you can see the hole in the wrist, sorry, the hip socket. There we go. And just push that in. I don't think that's in all the way yet. Hang on. Nope, that's not in at all. All right, I'm gonna finish doing this and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, that was a little more difficult than I expected. It turns out the hip socket, the hole there is a little bit smaller than the other side. So what I did, I just had to pull this leg off, attach this one, basically reverse it and put this one on first before I put the second one on. Anyway, they're both on, and how you can check, if you pull the leg straight out and out to the side, you can see right in here, the socket, make sure everything is sitting in nicely, good and tight. And then you're good to go. So I'm going to put her arms back on. So here you just want to make sure that the that shoulder piece from the hole from the internal torso frame is sitting nicely in the shoulder hole of the bust socket, and just push the arm back in. And do the same on the other side. Oops. And give the shoulders a good push. Make sure they're nice. Nice. There we go. All right, so I'm going to dress Sheryl now. I've opened some of the pieces just so that I could have a look at everything, make sure everything is here. And one thing that I almost had a panic moment, because I found her earring. It's bundled in with, excuse me, it's bundled in with her bracelets and the hair bows and whatnot. I couldn't find the dangly piece. There's a dangly part of her earring. Turns out it's packaged inside with her microphone in the bag with her literature. So if you're looking for it, don't panic, that's where it is. And I'm just going to quickly flip through the booklet with you guys so you can follow along and see what I'll be doing. Whoops. So it turns out I was mistaken. The decal doesn't go on her shoulder, it goes on her bust. Nice big smoochy mark on her boob. There we go. So we're going to start bottom up. We're going to put the stockings on first, and then the skirt, and then the top and all the other little bits. Okay, so all right, let's do this thing. I'm going to use this as a bit of a work surface. And where's the socks? Sheryl doesn't actually come with underwear. You'll see the way that the outfit is designed, how that is or why that is. One of these stockings kind of has a built-in panty. It's kind of odd. But as I slide this up, you'll see how this works. Be careful with these stockings because they have tears designed into them. So that you don't want to rip them. Oh, I see what they've done here. It's actually the stockings, I see why I'm having trouble getting them on. They're actually double layered. There's a nude fabric underneath this purple to give it a bit of structure so that these little tears in it won't actually run. But that also means it's kind of difficult to slide them up onto the doll. There we go. So you just kind of keep sliding that up until you like where the slashes are positioned. And this is what I meant. It's kind of like a weird built-in panty thing. The diagram shows these kind of leather panties go on top. So let's do that next. They are white lined, so they shouldn't stain. Shouldn't. This is Volks, you never know. And if you're having trouble, do go slowly. They stretch to the side, like left and right, so don't pull too much up and down rather. So there, I got them on. Because it is like a pleather material, if you force it, it could end up tearing or cracking, and that's no good, right? There we go. Just position that a little bit. This will get hidden under the skirt, so where it sits is not a really big deal. There you go. And let's get the other sock on. So here you can see what I was talking about. It's actually lined on the inside. So let's get the other sock on. And next is the little garter belt. So this is also mostly white lined. This feels actually like it's different material from the gloves. It's the same material as the skirt. It's got a nice slip to it. I can't promise that it won't stain or not. So let's put this one-legged garter on first. The instruction book just says that it attaches to the last hole, and then there's a little hook here that hooks onto this little tab on the stockings. Which I'm having to, there we go. So that's that part. Next, we're going to work with the skirt. So there's a couple of big snaps on the inside of the skirt, and what you do is fold over the top of this frilly piece that goes on the side and attach the snaps onto the inside of the skirt. And then we'll slide this up onto the body. This actually has a wire in it, so it's posable, which is kind of nice. There's a wire on this edge as well. And moving on with the instructions, next we're going to put the corset top piece on. So this is lined in gray on the inside. The zipper is functional. Oops. The only thing I would be careful of is here there's some red and blue stitching. I'll probably put a bit of tape or something against that later because I don't want that touching the doll directly. And if you can see, well, it's hard to get on camera, but on this side there's 3 sets of little loops. And that's so if you decide to put this top on different bust sizes or bust shapes, like the shapely bust, it'll still give you a nice fit. So, sorry, I need to see what I'm doing here, so I'm gonna get the hooks into the little loops here. There we go. Is that sitting nicely? Yep, that sits nice. And next, it says put on the necklace or the choker. Let's have a look. So you can see the hook on this side. There's no attachment on this side. That's because right on the edge here, there's a little, it's a little piece of gray thread that's sewn as the loop, and that's what you're going to attach the hook to. If you were doing this while the head was on, it would probably be quite finicky. So since I've got the head removed right now, I'm just going to attach the loop and slide that down. There, isn't that pretty? And next the instructions say to remove her arms, well, I mean her hands rather, which I've already done because I just did that, I'm not really sure why, but that's so that her jacket will slide on nicely. There are functional zippers. I hope they're functional, otherwise I'll sound like an idiot. So there's a functional zipper here on the wrist cuff, but not on the inner part of the blazer. So that's why they recommend taking the hands and the wrist joints off so that this will slide on more nicely. One thing that I didn't really do in front of you guys on the camera is that when you take the doll out of the plastic when it's new, check all of the joints just to make sure they're nice and tight, that there's a decent amount of tension in all of the joints. You don't want them to be super, super tight, but you don't want them to be so loose that things are falling out either. I noticed with this particular body, the elbow joint here is a little bit loose. I might fix that or tweak that later. But it's not so bad that it's falling off, and so I don't need to do anything immediately to fix anything there. Okay, so you can see the back of the skirt here while I'm fiddling with the blazer. Cool. Now there was a reason that I pulled her hands off, and it's because she comes with these tiny little glovelets. If you can see, there's one that's got a little rosette here. The one with the rose goes on Cheryl's left hand. Okay, so I'm holding it in my left hand right now. And be careful with these, they're quite finicky. Make sure to get the thumb through the proper finger hole, or else you can end up catching it. And you don't want to tear this because it's quite delicate. But in the same breath, it is a stretchy fabric, so it's quite forgiving in that sense. So Is that one with the little rosette. And I'll just pop that back into the body. The wrist armatures are very tight on this girl. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Oops. Next is the little glovelet without the rose. And this is also the hand that's going to wear the bracelets. And by the looks of it, all three of them go on this same hand. Alright, so I got the glovelet on the other hand. A lot of little bits of lint were coming off as I was doing this, so just brush those aside. And next we're going to grab the 3 bangle bracelets, slide them onto the wrist, and insert that into the arm. There we go. What's next? The belt is next. Oh, this is nice. See how they actually cut this in a C shape? So it's not straight, it'll actually sit nicely on the doll. And the belt buckle comes as a separate piece. You'll need to slide it on yourself. So just go through one side and out the other. That was so easy. That was brilliant. Volks, you should make all your belts like that. And just slide that through. Oh, I see what they've done. According to the diagram, you see how there's 3 loopy things? These actually you should slide down this way before you put the belt on. They serve no function, they're just decorative, I guess. And I think I have this twisted. Oops. There we go. And according to the fancy picture on the box, the tail end of the belt just kind of gets tucked under there and hidden. How does that look? Yeah, see, I don't like how this looks, so I'm going to slide those loops back because then it actually gives the end of the belt something to catch onto before I tuck it. There, that looks a little bit better. So what I did, I tucked the tails of the belt, the tail of the belt into the 2 loops, and then I just tucked it underneath the top layer of the skirt part here. And then next up are the shoes, and then the wig. All right, we're almost done. Oops. So the shoes come packaged and stuffed with tissue so that they don't lose their shape in transit. And these don't have any zipper to them. These are such cool shoes. I want shoes like this with the lightning bolt heel. They're so cool. But there's no belt or buckles or any fancy things on top. So they just slide right onto her foot. Hang on, is this the left or the right? You can usually tell by looking at the bottom. So this is the left foot. Excuse me. And get the other one on there. There we go. That's quite fabulous. set her back on. I'm going to adjust the stand just a tiny bit because now she's wearing high heels. And I'm sorry if I'm flashing you guys. Okay. Fun bits. Trying to see which wig I want to open. I think it's, yeah, this one. You can see in the packaging, if you look at them from the back, this one's got this curl on the side, this one doesn't. The one with the curl is what has her hair swept off to one side, and that's the one we're going to use for this Valkyrie outfit. And if this is your first Volks doll, they always attach their wigs with a little clear plastic tabby, so you'll need to cut that off carefully. There we go. Whoops, that went flying. And there's also another little tabby just holding the wig net onto the wig, so just be careful when you cut that off that you don't accidentally snip any wig fibers. Because it is a new wig, I am expecting to lose a few fibers the first time I play with this. I'm just looking for the other end of that plastic tabby. So there that is. I'm just going to pull that out. Just be careful because this is that piece that's styled. It's kind of crunchy. I think they just held it back with a bit of hairspray. Oh right, it would help if I had her head on. One moment. Sorry guys. So this is her head. I'm just going to pop that back on. See how easy that was? And for the wig, they actually tell you you don't want to be handling it by the styled part. Hold it by the bangs and the back of the wig cap. Stretch at the back a little bit. Get the front on, hold it down, and then slide the back into place. And then just have a look and see. There, just pull it from the back to get the bangs into a nice position. There we go. And then because her wig just kind of came in one big chunk, you can separate out the little pieces, define them with your fingers, and that's how you'll style her wig a little bit. So I'm just going to do this really roughly just so you can get a sense of how her hair should look. And then her little hat. There actually are a couple of tiny little clips in here. I'm not really sure what they want me to attach that to, nor does the instruction book have any photos to help me with that. So we're just gonna play it by ear. And what I'm gonna do actually, rather than attaching it to that swept back part, that style, I'm gonna actually clip it to her bangs. So what I did, I'll turn this around, lift a little piece here, flip that clip, put the hair into the clip, snap it, fix the shape of the hat. There you go. Looks pretty good, right? All right, so for the rest of this, there's her little bows that slide into her wig. I'm not going to put them in right now because that's a little too finicky. I want to spend some time styling her wig with water wax and maybe a little bit of hairspray before I put the clips in. And I'm going to put her microphone and her little earrings away. But I do have a treat for you guys, if you'll just bear with me one moment. Alright, so since it took so long just to dress Sheryl in her Valkyrie outfit, with the magic of YouTube, I've already dressed a couple of girls in the lion outfit and the casual date outfit, just so you can see what they look like. So here's Sid in the casual outfit. It's super cute. And what I noticed is that the blue stockings and the top are kind of made of the same stretch jersey fabric. And I've had this on her for about a couple hours, and I'm going to check in a little bit and see if it stained the bottom of her feet, because that's always something that we're concerned about as Dollfie dream owners. But this is a really cute outfit, and it'll fit small, medium bust, and sorry, small, medium, large, possibly even the dynamite bust. The shorts won't fit a dynamite though. They're already quite snug on the DD3 body. And this is the DD3 body. Sheryl comes on the DD3 body as well. But if you put the shorts on a DDS, which is the sister body, they would still fit. It would look quite nice. The boots that she comes with are really, really cool. If you look at them, there's all kinds of straps and lots of detailing on them. But putting them on was quite simple. It's just a snap in the back and the zipper. Really easy. Volks did a really good job interpreting the design of this outfit and creating it. I was quite impressed. And next is the lion outfit. So Alisa's modeling this one, and the reason I put Alisa in it is because she doesn't have, she's got that wonderful single bust torso that doesn't have the nipples, so it looks really nice. She doesn't want to stand upright though. Hang on, let's get you standing before we put you up there. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, this is embarrassing. Okay. There, she's kind of standing. This stand likes to be temperamental as well, so it's not entirely her fault. So this outfit is, oh my god, okay, I'm just going to hold her up. It's quite similar to the Valkyrie outfit in that the skirt and this awesome floofy bit at the back comes as a separate piece, so you have to snap it to the skirt before you put it on, or you can do it after. This one it was easier to do after because it doesn't go inside. Lovely corset top. This one actually does up with just straight hooks and loops. It doesn't have the 3 tabs like the Valkyrie set did. So this one is made pretty much for the large bust. I don't think it would fit on any other bust size. I don't have them here with me, but her gloves actually come with 2 different sets of gloves. So there's this one, which is made for like the holding hands, which is kind of like a mitten. And then there's the other pair, which actually are full 5-finger gloves, so you can put them on the paper hands or the regular O1 hands. The stockings are a really nice kind of a silky, stretchy fabric. I've seen this used on other dolls and it hasn't stained in the past. I won't hold my breath. I'll check this in a couple hours and I'll update the bottom of this link to let you know if there was any staining. The shoes are really, really cute. They do up with a couple of little hook latches on the side so you don't have to deal with the buckles, but they're a nice like light lilac. They're quite pretty. And the tulle underneath here is also a little light lilac purple to match the shoes, but it doesn't come with underwear, so you're gonna have to get yourself some panties for this outfit, otherwise you could have some indecent moments. Maybe you want them, I don't know. Anyway, this was a really, really pretty outfit. I actually like this one more than the Valkyrie outfit, which might be a bit of blasphemy, but that's just my personal opinion and it's my personal taste. So I'm really glad I ordered both of the alternate outfits for Sheryl because they're both really, really nicely done. So that's Sheryl. This video has gone really, really long, so I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I'll be back really shortly to unbox Ranka. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!